Hey guys, thanks for clicking on my face and checking out my channel, even though this review should have happened a long time ago. I'm John Stark from ActiveMovieGuy.com, and this is my review of Top Gun Maverick. Yeah, I waited for it to come to Paramount Plus, and then I reviewed it, got it out there, saw it the day it came out, and pushed out this review as soon as I possibly could. So, I am a blind film critic, so I watch films with audio description, and sometimes the best way to make sure that I actually get the audio description and not go to a theater to be told, oh, our equipment doesn't work, is to watch it at home. So I waited. Yeah, and I don't think I missed anything. I really don't. I mean, like, the purpose of seeing this in a cinema, I guess, is the sound. As a blind person, like, I would have gotten like the rumble in the seat from flying sequences, but I mean, I can, like, as somebody who used to be able to see, I can understand why I would want to see this in the cinema. You know, like, visually, I'm sure the flight sequences are amazing. I've heard that they were shot in an astounding way. This is a film that's getting like cinematography nominations, so this is not your typical film. I think a lot of people look at this and they go, "Oh, it's just a popcorn flick. It's just a trashy summer blockbuster," and I didn't get that vibe at all. It doesn't even. I don't even think it wants to be that. I think, I think Top Gun Maverick like took itself super seriously, like from the very beginning. It was like, it's like everybody got together and they were like, well, if we're gonna make a Top Gun sequel, we're gonna need to completely change everything structurally. Like, now that it's at home and you can actually like watch them back to back, because I don't know that any theater was running them back to back, I would encourage you to watch the first one and then Maverick, and then tell me that they weren't trying to do something completely different with Maverick, because it's it's like on a different level. It's not trying to really be funny. It's not trying to um it tonally, it's just like totally different. It approaches it from a different angle. It's very mature. It's very there's there's this sense of heaviness throughout the whole film that just sort of carries through. Maverick is not the same Maverick that he was before. um you know, I guess he's older and he's wiser and he's seen a lot of things, and um he grew up. It's a great performance from Tom Cruise. It's a weird performance to say I would nominate this for an Academy Award, but I wouldn't be mad. I don't know that it's a top 5 performance for me, um, but I also wouldn't hate it. I can see why people would nominate it. It's been a while since he's delivered a performance like this, and I look at people and their performances and I go, you know, we need category to be able to represent people who have just given some phenomenal work, and we just take it for granted. There's like a take it for granted category that we do, and Tom Cruise has fallen into that category with Ethan Hunt by now for the Mission Impossible films that keep getting better, by the way. We always just take him for granted as Ethan Hunt. We took Matt Damon for granted as Jason Bourne. We take Daniel Craig for granted as James Bond. I mean, we talk about how great they are in these roles. No one ever wants to nominate them. You know, it's just, I mean, so they're in these weird positions where we feel like, oh, they're great and we love them and they're iconic, but they're not. I'm not going to vote for them. So this kind of feels like it could get lost in that category of, yeah, it's great, it's iconic, and it's, you know, it's amazing, but we're going to take it for granted and nominate someone else. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see whether or not he gets nominated. I think there's a chance. I think he's vying for a 5th spot basically right now, but he's very good in this. He's good in a way that he hasn't been in quite some time, where he just really just takes it seriously. Even Ethan Hunt, he's got a different energy for Ethan Hunt than he does for Maverick. Maverick is very world worn, I guess you could say, in this film. Feels like he's been there, he's been through some shit, and he's seen some things, and he's completely changed. And now he's been tasked with going back to Top Gun, to train a group of recruits for a mission that he's pretty sure they won't come back from. Like, it's sort of an impossible mission. I had to. And he's, he's been brought back largely because of our good friend, who makes a lovely cameo in this film. It was very nice, actually. It was nice to see Val Kilmer back, but yeah, he's back because his old. It's funny that his old rival, because they used to be rivals, but it's funny to see this relationship now where, he's recommending Maverick. He's like, Maverick's the best. He's the one you want. And then John Hamm's character is just like, well, I really respect his opinion, so I brought you in, but I just want to let you know I hate you. I mean, he's just so... John Hamm is... If there's a villain in this film, it's John Hamm. So, yeah, he's clearly, like, if you step out of line once, Maverick, I swear to God, my fist is gonna come down. It's, so, yeah, that's where Hamm's at in this film. As the not really likable guy. And then there's these 12 recruits who, if you can name all 12 of them, congratulations. I don't think you're supposed to. I think there are some that are just there because they chose 12. He was supposed to take 12 and whittle it down to 6, which whittles it down to, hit the team that he actually takes with him, or the team that he sends on. He needs a team leader, and he has to pick a team leader, and he's having a hard time with that, and just a lot of things happen. So, and it builds towards the actual mission, and like, who's he gonna take? And it's kind of obvious because there are like a couple of characters that sort of get focused on. One of them is Rooster, played by Miles Teller, who is the son of Goose. And that is why everybody loves this movie so much, is because it's a full circle moment. It's Maverick now has to teach Goose's son how to not die. And he feels the weight of that responsibility, like, all the time. Like, he's just walking around with that, like, on his shoulders all the time. And you can feel it in every scene. In the scenes they share together, Rooster is trying so hard to live up to his dad and to carry that honor, and to be, obviously he looked up to his dad when he was a little kid, and his dad died and was taken away. And the fact that he still chose to do this exact same thing, is obviously his character wants to honor the memory of his dad, but at the same time, Maverick doesn't want to see another member of this family die. So he's constantly trying to challenge Rooster to not necessarily to wash him out or to see him break, but to make him if he's going to do this, he should be the best that he can be in the situation. So, yeah, so those are, he's kind of the main character. It's weird because I see both in the credits and on, like, IMDb, Jennifer Connelly is listed as second billing. I guess my throat's going to be like this for the remainder. And, Jesus. And there we go. Jennifer Connelly is in this, and she's like the love interest for Tom Cruise that we never saw. Somewhere between Kelly McGillis and this film, he decided to hook up with Jennifer Connelly, and so they have like a past that we never saw, and this dynamic that we never saw. And it's kind of weird, but it's also, as long as Kelly McGillis is okay with not being in this film, like, I don't want her to think that, I wasn't invited back because I'm old. You know, like, that's not fair, because they invited Val Kilmer back, and I mean, basically, yes, Val Kilmer can't really speak anymore. So they addressed that by giving his character cancer, like making him terminally ill. So they could have done something for Kelly McGillis here and let her play the same role that Jennifer Connelly is. They didn't really need Jennifer Connelly, except I'm sure Tom Cruise always likes to play opposite younger women. It just makes him look younger. Playing opposite Kelly McGillis would just remind people how much Tom Cruise has aged. Because Tom Cruise is kind of trapped in time. Like, he doesn't really age that you know, like he should. I remember somebody pointed out when he was doing one of the Mission Impossible movies that at that point he was the same age as Wilford Brimley was in Cocoon. It's just like, what? What? I think it was like the last Mission Impossible film that he made. He's like, this is Tom Cruise at this age, same age that Wilford Brimley was when he did Cocoon. And it's when you have that realization, you're like, oh my God, he's in excellent condition. What was happening with Wilford Brimley? So yeah, I felt bad for Kelly McGillis, for her just sort of being written out and forgotten about, and then Jennifer Connelly. So I don't know, Jennifer Connelly's fine. The film doesn't really need her, but she's fine in it. It's weird that she has second billing, because this film is obviously Tom Cruise and Miles Teller. I don't know, was she contractually obligated to have second billing? It's bizarre. Like, the fact the film isn't even a romance in that dynamic. It doesn't even lean into that much. She's, you know, it's weird. It's so weird that she has second billing, because even in the credits it goes like Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller. I'm like, I guess she's the bigger name and she has an Academy Award, you know. But to everyone who's watching this film, Miles Teller is obviously the second most important, biggest character in this film. So very bizarre choice there. Yeah, I have a lot of thoughts. I love this film. I thought it was fantastic. I'm blind and I can't even see the dogfight scenes, and it was just, I was just blown away by it. They were really well described too. The problem is on Paramount Plus, I always get kicked out of credits, so I don't know how to stop that. I've tried to figure it out, but they always just send me into another title. I don't even know what the next title is, because it doesn't even tell me. It just suddenly just loads another title. I'm just in the middle of credits, and it's like I can tell it's loading something else, and I'm like, I don't even know what this is. What did you just match me into? So I have to back out. But yeah, I felt like I recognized the voice, and I feel like I recognize that voice that narrated Top Gun Maverick. I wish I could place it though, because I would just call it as it was. But yeah, it was really well narrated. The action sequences are great. The characters here, one of the things that I love is that what the film does is puts everybody by their call signs. Makes it so much easier to follow people with their call signs. You know, when you're following people with names like Rooster, Coyote, Phoenix, you know, it's just Maverick, you know. I mean, like, everyone has a call sign in this film, and it just almost feels like you're following like the X-Men or something, and like or like superheroes. But for some reason you never have to wonder and be like, wait, who's that one? Which one is that one? Like, I found it so much easier to follow people using call sign names than I did actual names. It's just sometimes when people come in with, and you're like Bill comes in the room, you're like, who's that? Which character is Bill again? You know, like you get kind of lost in an ensemble cast with so many different names trying to remember who's who. But yeah, when you pick like weird names just out of the hat, it's great. So I think this will easily launch the careers of at least a few people, help to really push them forward in life. I'm really interested to see what happens to, I forgot her name, but the girl who plays Phoenix is fantastic in this. I don't think enough people talk about her. She's great. She was given a lot to do. So yeah, it's a great film. And I'm blind, and I realize I missed the dog fight sequences, and I can't quite tell you and be like, oh well, visual effects and cinematography are amazing in this film. I can tell you the sound design was great, the score is amazing, and Hold My Hand is a great song to end on. I mean, that, chef's kiss, just right at the top of the end of the film, we blast into Hold My Hand, and I was like, no wonder this film is getting Golden Globe and Critics' Choice nominations. The song, yeah. It feels like the rest of the score feels like it encapsulates Top Gun. Like the memory of Top Gun. Like it understands. It's very 80s. The score, even underneath it, I don't even know, is it original or did they just like repurpose all the music from the original? It felt very, they didn't try. This wasn't like they went to like Fall Out Boy and were like, hey, Fall Out Boy, you want to you want to try, like they did with Ghostbusters, where like so the Fall Out Boy is doing the Ghostbusters theme. Danger Zone wasn't like redone by The Weeknd. It was just Danger Zone. I mean, a lot of it was just it was just very nostalgic. It's obviously that's what it's going for. It's a legacy sequel. So yeah, I loved all of that aspect, all the aspects that I got out of it, all of the acting, the action sequences, the story, the characters, all of it worked. This was an incredibly entertaining film and is easily one of my favorite films of the year. So will it be in my top 10? I don't know. There's still some films I haven't seen. There's just some heavy hitter Oscar films that I have yet to see. So my top 10, it's really hard to say. It's in my top 10 right now. I will say that. Will it stay there? I don't know. There's several films that are in contention for Best Picture that I have not seen. That, Oscar keeps telling me, these films look great, we're gonna probably nominate them. And I'm like, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that. I need to see that. God, I should probably see that. So, yeah, we'll see. Has a really good shot, though. Not my favorite film of the year. It did not hit number 1 for me. So I still know what my number 1 film is right now. I don't know if it will stay that way, but I do have one film that I'm like, yeah, that's still my favorite. I do recommend this. I think it's great. Please watch it. Blind, sighted, deaf, I don't know, feel the television. Helen Keller, just get up there and get up on, get some bass and just feel the bass and the rush of the sound. This is, oh my God, having seen Spiderhead before watching Top Gun Maverick is like watching and just being like, with Joseph Kosinski, I was just like, how did he make Spiderhead? Like, they're so totally, he clearly has so much directorial possibilities and chops. And this film has like 3 people credited on the screenplay, by the way, too. So this is not your normal film where like one person wrote it and it was amazing. No, this film has like Aaron Kruger is on it and Christopher McQuarrie. And it's like it needed like multiple hands, and generally when screenplays start getting touched by multiple people, they fall apart. It's very odd that this one didn't, and especially with Aaron Kruger being one of the people who's touched the script. Yeah, it's this is an anomaly. That's what this is, just straight up. Like, just if you're trying to predict Oscars, just forget your conceptions about this film, and it's an anomaly. This film is not a blockbuster. It is not your typical summer film. This is absolutely a film that can be considered in every single category, except I don't know. I don't know that it's gonna pick up any other acting nominations other than Tom Cruise. I know some people are out there trying to get Miles Teller because Miles Teller is somewhat overdue at this point. He's missed out on a couple times. Like, there's some times where he could have been nominated. I'd rather wait for a time for him where it's actually a performance where he should be nominated. I don't know that this is the performance. But Tom Cruise, I wouldn't be mad. So I think what he does here is really nice, and it's a complete contrast. It's weird to take that role and take it, 30 years later with a completely different level of maturity from a different angle. So, anyway, yeah, I had a lot to say about Top Gun Maverick, so it's fantastic. Please watch it. It's on Paramount Plus. It has audio description. And I'm gonna give Top Gun Maverick an A. So, yeah. Now that I'm out of the danger zone, I would like some more subscribers. I just wanted to get to 100 this year, and I'm like 8 short. And it's I'm so close. It's so frustrating. So if you haven't subscribed to me yet, please subscribe. I just want to talk about audio description and films from a blind person's perspective and get that out there so that Hollywood knows we exist. So I can't, it's one of those things where it's like the bigger social media presence I have, the more good I can do, I guess. I don't make any money from this, so I have a website, macthemovieguy.com. You can follow me on Twitter at macthemovieguy. You can go to the audio description project, adp.acb.org. It'll let you know what has audio description and where you can watch it. And you can go to the adna.org. That's the adna.org, and look up your favorite films and television series and see who the narrator is. That is it for me today. I will review something else for you guys and see you on the other side.